Hello, I'm Jane Sandford. I am the growth mindset and spiritual empowerment coach in Team PhoeN1x. And today's presentation is going to be about unlocking your potential. And first off, we're going to start with the power of perspective. So our outlook on life is like having our own personal filter. It's all about how we see things based on our own mix of experiences, beliefs, and attitudes. So imagine this. Every day is like putting on a pair of specs that are tinted with our own unique perspective. And these perspective specs, if you will, tint everything we come across. When we bump into a challenge, if we're wearing our opportunity goggles, we'll likely dive in with curiosity and a can-do attitude. But if we've got on our doom and gloom glasses, then even little hiccups can feel like huge mountains. We might find ourselves tiptoeing around, trying to avoid any bumps, but where's the fun in that? The world might start to feel a bit too big and scary, and we might miss out on chances to grow and succeed. So if we believe we've got what it takes, we're more likely to jump at new chances, give things a go, and chase after what we want. We might, actually, it's like wearing a pair of rose-tinted glasses that make the world look like full of possibilities and adventures. But if we're not giving ourselves enough credit, it's like wearing a pair of dull grey specs. We might hold back, not because we can't do things, but because we've convinced ourselves that we can't. So the bottom line here is that our perspectives aren't just ways of seeing things. They're key to how we experience life and make choices. By choosing to see the world in a brighter, more growth-focused way, we really can change our actions and outcomes. It's about turning the everyday into a chance for something amazing, a personal growth adventure. So we're going to talk now about fluid versus fixed viewpoints. So let's just take a look at those doom and gloom glasses. So in a world where everyone is expected to stick to their guns, what if we decided to mix things up a bit? Imagine not clinging to the same old viewpoints all the time. And this could be really scary for some. But being open to changing our views can actually be a game changer in navigating the twists and turns of life. So having a fluid perspective is all about realizing that our understanding and interpretations can shift. It's about being curious, welcoming new bits of info and experiences, and being okay with tweaking our views based on what we learn. So this isn't about being wishy-washy, it's about being flexible and open to growing. And when we embrace this bendy way of thinking, the way we tackle challenges starts to change. Instead of seeing tough spots as big stop signs, we begin to view them as chances to learn and develop. We roll up our sleeves and dive into these challenges, keen to understand and learn from them, rather than just dodging them or getting bogged down by the negatives. And this fresh take on hurdles leads to a more hands-on, positive approach to sorting things out. We're more game to try out new ideas, to give different solutions a whirl, and to learn from both our wins and our whoopsies. And this kind of adaptability is a real plus, not just for personal growth, but also in work settings where being creative and innovative is key. Plus, being fluid in our thinking does wonders for our relationships with others. It helps us really get where others are coming from and have more meaningful, empathetic chats. Being open to rethinking our own views helps us connect on a deeper level and work together more smoothly. So in a nutshell, shaking off those fixed viewpoints and adopting a more fluid perspective really spices up our life experiences and growth, and it gears us up to face life with an open, inquisitive, and flexible mindset, turning every challenge into a valuable lesson. First of all, we have to overcome our self-limiting beliefs. So think about someone who's always believed they're simply not cut out for numbers, for instance. And this kind of thinking might lead them to automatically rule out any job or hobby that's got a bit of maths involved. It's like they're unknowingly set up a little fence around certain areas like architecture or engineering, which could have been really enjoyable and fulfilling for them. And now let's say this person starts to question their old belief. They begin to entertain the idea that maybe, just maybe, they could get the hang of this numbers business. And that's the first step towards a whole new set of opportunities. It's about being open to learning and realizing that skills are something you can develop over time with a bit of practice and patience. And this shift isn't solely about getting over a number phobia. It's about recognizing that our current skill set is not a full stop, but it's more like a to be continued. And acknowledging this, they might start dipping their toes into areas they previously thought were not in their league. It could be something as simple as a beginner's course in maths or giving a go at activities that include a bit of numerical thinking. So with each step forward, their self-confidence starts to build up. Gradually, tasks that once seemed daunting now appear completely doable. And this newfound self-assurance could encourage them to consider paths in careers or hobbies that they hadn't dared to think about before, unveiling a range of exciting possibilities. So this change from a fixed to a growth mindset in our scenario really shows the incredible impact of altering our perspective from believing abilities are set in stone to understanding that with effort, persistence, and the right strategy, anyone can develop new skills and venture into new territories. And this revelation can be the key to unlocking a satisfying and rewarding journey in both their career and personal interests. So let's now talk about embracing flexibility in our thinking. And the idea of being flexible in how we think is really quite empowering. It nudges us to realize that sometimes the limits we think we have are just down to our own beliefs and attitudes. And when we start to question and push past these self-created boundaries, we suddenly find ourselves looking at a horizon full of opportunities that we might have previously thought were beyond us. Being ready to change is central to this concept. It's about being willing to change direction when new information comes along or when unexpected opportunities pop up. And this ability to adapt is vital in a world that never stands still. It keeps us current and effective in both our personal and work lives, as we're not stuck clinging to old ways or ideas. And seeing things from various perspectives is also key. It's about considering views that aren't necessarily our own, leading to a richer understanding of complex situations. And this openness can also spark innovation, as approaching problems from different angles often unveils unique solutions that we might not see if we only look at things one way. So in my work, embracing this kind of flexibility is a crucial first step towards deep personal change. It's the start of a journey where people begin to question the beliefs and assumptions they've always had. And this questioning isn't about doubting ourselves. It's about exploring our full potential and thinking about new, varied paths. And this way of thinking can lead to impressive personal growth. People who adopt this mindset often end up achieving things they once thought were out of reach. They become more resilient, inventive, and creative. And this doesn't just benefit them on a personal level, it also enhances their relationships and their contributions to their communities and workplaces. And the concept of being fluid in our thinking is all about embracing a never-ending journey of learning and self-betterment. It's understanding that our path isn't fixed. It's an evolving one where challenges are stepping stones for growth and personal limits are there to be redefined.